Kelvin, holding them, 20 points or more below their average second time. What was the key to the defensive effort?
Cougar defense. You know, every team runs an action, guard the action. You know, their three best players are really good players. You know, they run their sets really good. We had them scouted well. We had great preparation. What is today? We play Sunday, right? So didn't do a whole lot Monday, but yesterday and today. When you play a team a second time, you don't need 3 days or 2 days preparation. You know, it's not like we had to do a personnel scout. So, you know, and our team's getting better at certain things. We're getting better at our point of attack defense, loading to the ball, our stunts, all the things that we emphasize and teach. We just tend to get better. You know, it gets forgotten real quick, but we lost 4 starters last year. And those 4 starters knew how to do this stuff. These young kids did not. It's taken them a while to figure it out. You know, we're not just out there playing hard. I mean, we do have a scheme and a system, and guys have to do their jobs. And our chemistry on defense has to be really good. But you know, how hard you play, your toughness, playing for each other. You know, those are the things we hold our kids accountable for.
Yeah, Kelvin, you talked about getting more people involved on the offensive glass. Obviously, Jairus, Jawan, Reggie all had their numbers, but just a guy like Emmanuel with 3 boards offensively tonight. Is this sort of sort of that progress you're looking at?
Well, we'll see next game. You know, we ain't throwing no parties, passing balloons out because they did it tonight. You know, I'll see Saturday. You know, if it happens once, it might be an accident. Happens twice, it could be a coincidence. But when it happens 3 or more times, it becomes a habit. So I'm not. We'll see.
Kelvin, speaking of habits, with the share right for now, 4 out of 5 years. Now that it's happened, just any thoughts on just what the program, you know, what you guys have done, what you've accomplished?
It's hard for me to talk about that, Joseph. I mean, I have nowhere to. I would have nowhere. I don't know where to start, what to say. You know, I just think staying humble and you know, I do the best I can to coach these kids, put them in the best position to win and for them to be successful. I've got a great staff, and we all work in conjunction with each other. You know, we've been winning around here for a long time. You know, our second year, I called Kyle Meyer just to check on him yesterday. I didn't get a chance to talk to him Sunday after the game, so I called him yesterday and checking on him and his family. He's got a new job. His wife's pregnant for her first child. We just talked, and I just told him how much I appreciated what he did for this program during his time here. Because we didn't. They'd had a team before I got here, but they didn't have a program. And Kyle's first year, we won 22 games. You know, at the time, that was a big deal. A lot of people didn't follow us back then, but it's still a big deal to me. It was Kyle and Burt Colley, Devontae Pollard, Rob Gray, Damian Dotson, Galen Robinson, all those guys. That was Armani's freshman year. Then the next year we won 20-some again. So just the consistency of it is, I think, what I'm most proud of. Just year in and year out, starting in 15, 16. First year, you know, we didn't have a transfer portal. If we had a transfer portal the first year, no telling what we'd have done. You know, we just showed up at the at Walmart for the blue light special at 6 o'clock. The problem was it started at 2. So there wasn't a whole lot left on that table. You know what I'm saying? And then, but we got to recruit after that, and we're pretty good at that.
We're going to hear Richard on the far left and then go over to Andy.
That looks like the KISS guy. He started sticking his tongue out. I'm going to start tripping.
Kelvin,
Yeah.
how does success, what's the impact success has had on the program? What does it allow you to do just as you keep winning and winning and winning?
No, I don't really think about that. We've been winning for a long, long, long time. I just don't ever get carried away with it. There'll be a time to reflect on those kind of things, but now's not the time.
And for the players, I wanted to ask two questions. Like, at this point in the season, what are you most pleased about, and what are the things that concern you as you hit the fun stuff now?
Just our efforts getting better. A lot of people are playing a lot harder for a longer amount of time. So that's just one thing that we've been harping on. Just playing harder and playing a full 40 minutes. So I think that's just one thing we've been pleased with.
Yeah, like he said, just coming together, as a team. I still feel like we haven't reached our ceiling. So that's always, a positive heading into March. Want to be playing our best basketball in March. So, I feel like that's the most exciting thing, as the season continues, really.
And what are the things you still need to work on?
Everything.
Really everything.
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
Can't get, yeah.
For both Marcus and Jamal, just going back to the offensive rebounding, but really today it's kind of done by committee with multiple different players. What was kind of the key for this game and being able to have that success on the offensive glass?
Just, like he said, when we first got in here, Cougar basketball, it's what we've been doing for a while before we got here. It's been engraved in this program. So just, following what we're used to doing and getting back to what we need to do.
And then I just say ball movement, body movement, and then, just all 5 guys on the floor just unselfish. It's real fun to play with a team when, nobody cares, who scores the ball. And that's one of, I feel like that's kind of all 5 guys, best strength kind of passing the ball. So I feel like that's how we got a lot of open shots, and that led to offensive rebounding.
Coach, there was a sequence where Sharp missed a 3, but then he got right back down the court really quick and drew a charge. What do you think that says about the culture and his mental toughness, especially after a tough shooting night?
Man, Dusty. Dusty, always love it when you ask the question. Yeah. By the way, Dusty, your question is getting better. Kind of digging that one. Emmanuel did have a tough shooting night. One of the things we preach constantly to our kids is there's a lot of ways to impact winning. Yes, you don't have to just make a shot. That's why I don't judge how good you play based on how many points you have. Sometimes I may get on the guy that scored the most points because he didn't do anything else. Like Tremont Mark, for instance, tonight, I thought he did a great job of moving the ball. He had no turnovers, guarded his position. He got in on the rollers. Emmanuel's learning how to play Cougar basketball, getting to the right spots. Early in the year, they work twice as much as they need to. For instance, instead of getting in, he's always late getting in, then he's late getting out. So he just ran 2 sprints when he needed to run 1. Get in early, then you just have to run out. You watch film all you want, but that's why I don't worry about what our team looks like in November. That's November basketball. I don't worry about what our team looks in December. That's December basketball. January, February, March. That's when you want to be playing your best. That's why people get overly excited about a win or a loss in November or December. It means nothing, especially when you haven't replaced 4 starters and the other kids are freshmen. But just piggyback on what Marcus said, we had 22 assists tonight. On 31 made baskets. That's part of our identity, things that we emphasize. You usually achieve what you emphasize. It's not just offensive rebounding. We emphasize a lot of things. But our half-court defense, our rebounding at both ends have always been pillars of our program. And on nights we shoot well, look pretty good.
Kelvin, what did you think of the way Jawan played, and how have you seen him progress over the course of the season?
Jawan's really, really improved. He really has. He could probably beat all three of these guys. Marcus, you guys see him after they get here. We actually recruit them. I mean, we don't run to the mall, down to the mall and start handing out scholarships. I remember Marcus when he was December between his junior and senior year. I remember Jamal. I wanted to make Jamal start running sprints as I was recruiting him. I said, I better sign him first. J1 is a byproduct of our player development system. Kellen deserves a lot of credit for that position. All my coaches, we sit down and we meet, and we're constantly looking at what other people are doing, especially NBA guys, in terms of player development and what's the cutting edge. I was trying to get better. How do you get better at something? That's why I surround myself with people that want to get better. If you're not in this circle, if you're trying to help us get better, we'll let you in the circle. But if you're not, we don't have any time for that. But I will say this. To me, the player of the year in this league has been Marcus Sasser. He's the best player in this league. Don't base it on stats. Marcus' stats could be a lot better if he took a lot more shots. But he impacts winning in so many ways. And that's why I think the player of the year should be the best two-way player. Is Marcus the best offensive guard? Maybe not. I don't know. There's some really good offensive guards in this league, talented kids. But I don't think there's a better two-way player in this conference than Marcus Sasser. And that's why when you start thinking about who's the best player in the league, look at both ends. And that's where I think Marcus is the best player.
Time for two more. One of them will go to starters. Go ahead, Starter. Marcus, you guys have had your season high in steals the last two games. Tonight you had 16. You yourself had 4. I mean, what, if anything, have you guys been doing to allow that to happen?
I just say the film study. The coach is doing a great job of just getting us prepared for, their sets and things like that. So we kind of know what's going to happen before it happened. But then just having trust in our teammates. We was in the right spots at the right time, and we know our rotations and just being aggressive on the ball. So that's how we get steals, really.
Last question, we'll go to Chris. Chris, go ahead.
Coach, just your thoughts on Jairus on the boards tonight.
Yeah, been on Jairus hard last couple of days. The thing about Jairus, he usually responds. I thought he played hard tonight. He had some mistakes, but mistakes are usually made by omission or commission. As long as they're going 100 miles an hour, I can survive a mistake. When you're making mistakes going half-assed, then there's probably going to be an issue with that. Jairus played hard tonight. He's always unselfish, but some tough luck on some of his shots. A couple of them I thought went down, all the way down in the hole and popped back out. He just needs to. The more physical he is, the better player he is.
Coach, Marcus, Jamal, thank you very much for your